Girl.
Hmm.
Y'all, welcome back to another episode of Herbal Tea Thursday. You see, I got my girl Shereen back in the studio.
Hey everyone, happy Thursday. We are back. We are back. We are back. It's been a minute. Well, it's been
We are
what, 2 weeks?
back.
It hasn't been a
We are
minute, but it's been
back.
about two
We are
weeks.
back.
How you feeling today,
We are
Giovanni?
back. We are back. Hey, we are back. Man, Shereen, I am flowing with this
Mm-hmm.
thing called life and vibing with the vibes. Do you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I
I
love
love
it
it.
too. I love it too. Yeah, it's your healthy habits and lifestyle coach, Giovanni, host of the Empowered Plates, Empowered Lives podcast. And that's great to be with you another time and day on a beautiful Thursday. Shireen, you got your tea?
I have water. It is Shireen Simon, the founder of blackprint.com, the host of Voices and Vibes, and I am back in the studio. Finally, it feels like I haven't been here for a good minute. The owner of Perspective Studio Productions, and I'm also feeling great and happy to be here today. And I'm drinking water. Where is it? I'm drinking water. So cheers. And
I
I'm
am drinking
smacking this
some,
gum. I am smacking this gum. I need something fresh.
drinking a chai tea.
Oh, nice.
What I've been able to do, I'm home in South Carolina with my family, and they're coffee drinkers. And so I got this chai
Mm.
tea that I saw that my aunt had bought, really good chai tea, and I've been switching out their coffee with the chai tea. So every time they were asking for coffee, I'd be like, I can make you a tea. I can make you a tea. And yesterday, I made them like some soursop leaves, and then
Okay.
also like some mullein tea because I want to kind of help my granddaddy, like kind of clear up his lungs. Sometimes he sleeps with like the sleep apnea machine on. So I've been putting the
Mhm.
tea on him, baby, since I've been here. So cheers to the tea, y'all.
For real, for real. Funny, somebody just said to me this week, don't remember who, don't remember. Oh, it was actually Milani had said to me to drink some soursop tea. I said, "Oh, I have some
Mm.
leaves." And she said, "Yeah, that's a great tea to brew." So I will be drinking some of that as well. But today, while we're in here, I'll be smacking this gum until it loses flavor. I don't know what it is with gum. I don't even actually like chewing gum. When I'm in the studio, I'd be smacking this gum.
I got you. I got you. Y'all, while Shireen is getting the cards together and getting ready to check us into this episode where we are talking about why sponsorships. That is our topic for today. So Shireen
Mhm.
getting ready to check us in. What we need you to do is absolutely free. But what I would like you to do for the both of us is to make sure that you are subscribed to our channels and that you like this video. All right. So if you're watching
Mhm.
on Facebook, on our Facebook platforms, in the description of this live, there are links to our YouTube page. Please go ahead and take
Mhm.
this time now to go ahead and click that link, move over to YouTube, like and subscribe to our channels. And if by the end of this episode you found any value in it, please share it with at least one person that you love and that you want to share this information to. And while you at it, tap that notification bell so you never miss a live, a video, a podcast episode, or anything that we have to offer. We appreciate y'all and we love y'all. And we thank you for supporting our vibes. What we got, Shireen?
Alrighty. So we actually got two. First one's quite easy. It just says
Okay.
take a moment to take 3 deep breaths together. So I think we can all do that. So let's just go. Let's
Okay.
inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale. I got to exhale to say and exhale. And our last one, make it deep. We'll hold it for like 2 seconds and inhale and exhale. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So the
So
card
yeah,
and the
I
question.
loved that. Oh my God, that
Mhm,
felt so good. Like I felt the relief, like even in my head. I felt the
mhm,
lightness in my eyes. I think on the inhales, I learned about like the diaphragmatic diaphragmatic breathing. I think that's the right word. Diaphragmatic breathing, where you're on that inhale, you're letting your belly expand as big as possible.
mhm,
A lot of times we think when we breathe, we're supposed to like suck in because that's how we naturally do when we see something scared. But like on that inhale, letting your diaphragm swell up. I like to do a 5 second inhale, hold for three
mhm.
seconds, and a slow exhale for seven. I absolutely love that card. I needed that three deep breath,
Sometimes
Shireen. I don't know about you.
sometimes it's just to, like, reset, and it's good for us to just kinda,
Hmm.
like, reset as we so we can be present for the conversation, right?
I agree. I think it's also a good time to show up for your central nervous system with those breaths, just to relax there too. I'm with it.
Mhm. Yeah, I, was speaking to start of the morning with a meeting, and, the first thing I asked them about is just really how do they center themselves because 'cause they're planning a big event, right? So just to, like, release some of that, just take a moment and, take a deep breath just so you can kind of feel yourself again and then go back to the work. But
Right. Girl, I like my coaching clients to do that. They have to set a time on their calendar each day to show up and do those deep breaths, just to get that moment in. And I even had clients that when that alarm goes off on that or that time shows up in the day where they have to show up for themselves to do that deep breathing, they even pull
mhm,
over if they're driving to get that time in and prioritize themselves just by doing those deep breathing
deep breath.
exercises or moments. I
Yeah,
like that. That was a good
deep breath.
check in.
It was. We're not done. We do have one more, but it looks like "Aw, shoot"
Okay.
also, felt good to him as
Oh,
well.
shoot.
He said his sinus cavities are opened, so
I think it's a female, Shireen.
oh, I can't tell
I think,
by
oh,
her
shoot.
name.
I know. I think it's a female. But you're
Mhm.
right. Come on, sinus cavities opened up. My brother's
Mhm.
allergies was messing up today. Maybe I need to tell him to go do some deep breathing and get some mullein leaf tea.
Absolutely. I'm gonna give us our question, and
Hmm.
it really just says, "How do you prioritize rest?" I can say that I probably wait till I am crashing at times, which is not the best thing to do. I know that for the last couple days, I have not been sleeping well. Thankfully, I have been able to use my Calm app and I listen to my sleep sound, but that's like last night, I think it was 4 a.m. and then I'm waking back up at like 8 a.m. So right before this call, I was like, "Oh Lord, let me just smack some gum and drink some water because I'm tired." And yeah, so yeah, how you prioritizing rest, Giovanni?
I like to be mindful of the time. And so I know that the ideally 7 to 9 hours of sleep at night is essential. So I try to
Mhm.
think about,
You can
okay,
do that.
if even if I'm not in bed by a certain time, I'm trying to think about, okay, what time should I be getting up to get that 7 hours in? And in the event that I don't get the 7 hours in, when during the day can I take that moment to take a nap? No matter how long that nap might be. So when I'm at work and it's school time, when during my planning period I could take a nap or go into like the calming room or the Zen room they would have for teachers and just lay back and take a power nap. So when I'm feeling like I need that reset or my body needs that stillness, and I didn't get the 7 to 9 hours, it's finding time throughout the day to be able to say,
Yeah.
hey, go lay down. Hey, yep, even if
Mhm.
it's for 50 minutes, set an alarm, lay down, getting whatever
Mhm.
I can before I need to get up and move. So getting in the naps when it's ideal and being mindful of how much rest I did get throughout the night, and trying to maximize that. I think I know I can get better with that, because on a recording that I did earlier this week, someone sets their hard boundary time. Like it's like 9 o'clock, I believe. After 9 o'clock, people know not to call. She's not on
Mhm.
social media anymore. All of that.
Mm.
And so it's really starting to show it's it's the evolution though, Shireen. You remember when building healthy habits is like one thing. and then you build on it, you get it, it's repetition. Now it's a part of your lifestyle. Now you add something else instead of trying to do it all at one time. So I know the
Mhm.
time is going to come where things get shut down at a certain time. And that's when I know I'm showing up for me when it comes to the sleep hygiene every single day.
Mhm.
And I'm looking forward to that time. So that's how I show up for
Yeah,
sleep.
I am a huge believer in cat naps. I remember I was listening to a podcast and I can't remember. I actually think it was Kevin Hart. I might have been listening to his ebook as opposed to a podcast. And he talked about taking cat naps. And I started taking them ever since. I'm like, you know what? And then my sound on the Calm app gives me 26 minutes. But the first 3 minutes, I guess it's the frequency in the sound, and I've said this before here, it just puts you in the deepest REM sleep, um, and then you wake up by the sound of, like, birds chirping, so you're not having this aggressive alarm. Even for my own alarms, I've changed that, so, you can adjust your sound so you're not getting, like, woken up abruptly. Right, I don't even think that's healthy. So mindful about just getting that 26 minutes. It's funny how deep you can sleep within that time frame, but, but then also how you wake up, right? Mhm,
Speak
mhm,
on it on how you wake up. Speak
mm,
on it on how you wake up. Like
oops,
it is to be mindful of yourself when you wake up is a game changer, I believe, because how you wake up speaks for the tone that you're already setting for the day for yourself. And
mhm,
I feel like we have to be mindful of that. And so I'm learning sometimes when you first wake up, it's not checking the phone. Sometimes it's wiggling the fingers, wiggling your toes, taking in the sounds that's around you, the things you hear, the stuff you might smell, being aware of your thoughts or what it is that you feel like you're going to get into today, and maybe saying certain affirmations about your day before you even get out of the bed, your feet touch the floor. I think waking up in a panic and in go mode, it doesn't do much for your nervous system, let alone your body. And so I think it's a practice that people
mhm,
should kind of start to consider with how do you want to embrace yourself when you get to
mhm.
see another day and you wake up.
It's funny, I watched this TikTok right before I actually went to bed last night, and, my daughter calls it like a scrolling zombie. But I watched this TikTok and the gentleman talked about, um, basically writing and manifesting what you want right before you go to bed and writing it down
Mm.
and putting it on the side of your bed or putting it under your pillow and you speak about it in the present. And so before I write a lot, but I haven't been doing it as much. Um, and I used to always keep a book on the side of my bed because if I wake up and I have an idea, then I can just jot it down really quickly. So I took the practice based on the TikTok that I watched and just wrote the next few things. I say few, the man said put a few. I had like maybe 2, 3 pages of the next few things that you really want, but put speaking as if it's already done. It's already done, right? So, and I've been using
I
just
like
those
it.
words lately as well. It's already done. It's already,
It's
yeah, this
already
one,
done.
it's
Yeah.
already done. It's just on its way. It's already done. Already determined. It's almost
You
here.
have been in a manifestation season, and so that sounds perfect as the
Mhm,
affirmation to constantly be putting in there. I like that. I like that.
mhm, mhm. Giovanni, but I do have a question.
Okay,
What is
we're
your
really
win?
getting in our check-in time
Yeah, yeah. Well,
today.
I was
I'm
just gonna go
loving
to
it.
our
Like we
wins.
missed
What's
each
your win
other.
for the week?
Oh, I was about to say we must have really missed each other not being on the vibe last time. We getting in this second time, and I'm okay because
We
it's
should have
been
left this.
beneficial.
We should have left this
It's
call
been
first.
wellnessly rich. My
Yeah,
wellness
yeah.
win. Ooh wee, my wellness win. I got a few. I'm gonna keep it short though. I got a few.
Mhm,
My
mhm,
first wellness win was my aunt Jean. join me on my Nourish and Flourish Vibes mukbang
Ooh.
on Tuesday. And so, me being someone officially diagnosed with PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome, and her having the symptoms, but never getting the official diagnosis, even at a young age, 12, 13, and bleeding for 3 months. And the doctor's just saying, oh, well, that's just your period. That's just your normal. It was good to have that conversation with her, kind of sharing her health challenges, even her thyroid and stuff like that. But she's the person in our family that has been the one who creates the food experiences for us. So
Mm,
seeing the foods that would be functionally nutritious for those with PCOS, endometriosis, thyroid issues, those special foods that help. Shouting those out and having her say, well, what are some creative ways you can create a meal with that? So that was a fun experience. So that was one wellness win this week for Tuesday. After the Tuesday Mukbang Live, I joined a live on Facebook. These plant-based men were in a live session together, and I put in the chat that I was 121 days on my raw journey. And they were like, what are you talking about? And they brought me up in the live. And when they brought me up in the live, I was able to share my experience. They asked a lot of different questions, and I gained so many different followers just because they loved my
mm.
insight and they were curious about my journey. And that just made me feel even more powerful on like my healing journey is bigger than me, which is the whole reason
Mhm.
why I have this movement of the Empowered Plates, Empowered Lives. And
Mm.
somebody wanted to even ask me about recommending books to read and stuff. So I might have a book club coming up soon to start reading more books and insights with that. So those will be
You should put
my
them on a wait
two
list.
wellness wins. The community wait list is already there, but that is in the works. I'm talking about that. But those will be my two wins, and then the third one I already told you, like having my family, my granddaddy, my grandma, and my aunt drinking herbal teas instead of going for their heavily white processed sugared coffee, and switching that out for them and them embracing trying something different because it might help them feel better. And so that those will be my three wins for this week. Shireen, what you got, girl? And y'all,
Okay.
while you're listening to our wellness wins, make sure you drop them in the chat for us. We care about your wins too.
So for me, we came back from the podcast summit about over a week ago, and I was getting ready to go to another event. And I was packing my car and I slammed the car door and my hand kind of got caught into it. So I haven't been able to, so I got stitches. And I haven't been able to really use this is my dominant hand for a while. So I had to kind of just sit back and rest. Um, I mean, I did other things, but it was just in a lot of pain. Um, but as of this week, I'm typing away. I'm still a little slow, but I'm typing away, and the pain is numbing, and finally the swelling is finally going down. So just getting back into the swing of things. Um, I feel like I feel like that's a win.
No
And then,
pun on the door swinging on your hand. But go
girl,
ahead.
that was more slamming. There was no swinging. It was
Mm.
straight. When you like when you do something and then you're like, oh, because you realize that you did something, but it's too late to even stop it from happening. That's how it was. Like I just closed it, my hand was still in, and I was like, and then it was like, bam, and then and yo, that day that was on Thursday. That was a week ago. I was wearing my new social proof shirt. And let me tell you that the quality of that shirt was so freaking thick and nice. And I kept saying to someone in the morning, "Ooh, this is a nice shirt." I know that we've heard them talk about the shirt is nice, but I was like, "Wait a minute, this is
Nayetta loves that shirt.
girl." And I bought like it was like cream. And I'm like, I love this shirt. Like, I have to be careful how I eat today because I don't want to get my shirt messy. There's blood all over that damn shirt now. On my hand. Blood on my sneakers, blood on the shirt. I was so careful all day.
I'm
I
just
got
glad you
like,
still have a hand. I'm just so glad you still have a full hand, all five fingers.
I mean, I think one, two, three got nicked and one got split open. So
Hmm.
the three that I nipped, they were
Okay.
just swollen and in pain. But the one
So what was the win again?
that is better, it's on the
Because I'm
mend.
over here hurt. Oh, okay. Because I'm over here hurting again, seeing the white meat visual when she was saying it before. I'm like, what was the win again? Okay, that you're on your way back on
It's on
almost
the
a
way
full
back. It's on the way
recovery.
back. But
Okay,
also,
gotcha. Okay.
my second one, I think, is like I realized a couple of trips ago that when I travel, I tend to have ups and downs, right? And I think it might be like overstimulation a bit, but also just like however I feel or what's going on there. But when I come back, so the trip is always an up. But when I come back, it's an up, and then there's the pressure to work, and then there's a little bit of a down. And I think that's because like you're not away anymore. So there's this up and down. There's this up and down. Girl, who you talking to? Let them say hello if they want to.
Yeah, yeah, they said they want you to say hello. It's my
Only if
cousin
they want
Caleb.
to.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing?
He
And
can't hear
so
you
is
because you're in my ear.
oh, well just tell him I said, "Hey, how you doing?"
Shireen said, "Hey, how you doing, Caleb?"
Is it live?
The live. We talking wellness wins. You got a wellness win? Oh, okay. He doesn't have a wellness
He
win.
has one. He just doesn't know
I
what it
I
is
would
right now.
his wellness win was that he enjoys doing art. And so he was asked
Mm.
to help paint.
Ooh.
And so he helped paint a house the other day. And then he's going to be
Ooh.
helping paint a hotel soon. So I'm going to say his wellness win was being able to relax and enjoy painting and getting
Nice.
paid for it earlier this week. So I'll do that wellness win for him.
Listen, getting paid for your passion, right there. That's it right there. Snap,
Speaking of
snap.
paid and passion,
Let's talk about it.
here we go. Why
Mhm.
sponsorship? So, y'all, we decided to bring this topic in because one of our community members, Tamisha, said that when we went to the podcast summit, she really wanted us to come back and share the information in regards to sponsorships and, excuse me, brand partnerships and stuff like that. So we wanted to come to you from our level of experience, insight, and what we're doing right now in regards to where we are in our business with our initiatives. So we're talking sponsorships today. Like why sponsorships, right?
Mhm.
Shireen, why sponsorships? Why
Because you
sponsorships?
because you can actually get paid for an idea. You can actually get sponsorship
Mm,
for an idea even before the idea is executed. If the idea is that good, you just need to be able to get in front of the right people, the right brands, and you can actually get weigh in and monetary, whether it's monetary or tangible items, because you might be doing something and your sponsorship might be we can donate this amount of materials, right? And then you can also have we can donate or we can contribute this amount of software or this amount of money, right? Everybody wants the money. So you can actually get paid for your idea.
I
Mhm.
love it. When I think of brand, why sponsorships, I think of invisibility, credibility, and an opportunity to kind of network. And you really have to find those people that align with what it is that you're doing or have similar missions and visions. Because just getting anybody to give you some money could get you in some type of trouble. Like when you got it, it's almost like a relationship type thing. You got to have some type
Mhm.
of vibe, some type of mutual interest to even
Mhm.
want to be seen together,
Mhm.
provide share resources together, and hope that we trust this thing, to take us
Mhm.
long term as we grow. But
Mhm.
um I love when you said it pays for a vision before the vision is even put in place, or an idea. I
It
think you said not
can.
a
It
vision, an
can.
idea. It could pay for it before it even happened. And I think something we learned well, I don't know if you did. I'm gonna speak for myself. Something I learned at the podcast summit from Daniel Priestley was that whatever idea you have, there's someone out there that's willing to help pay for it. You just have
Mhm.
to find the right person. You just have to do enough work to identify who that person is. And you can get as many no's as you want. You're not looking for a no, you're looking for your yes. Or how
Mhm.
can we make this work? Because they are waiting for you to bring the opportunity to them so they can fund it. So that was a big thing for me during that moment at the podcast summit to realize that why not sponsorship? Because you can get more
Mhm.
done when you have resources and support and collaborative efforts than you can do by yourself. And so that I agree with you in regards to why sponsorship.
Another big thing that like Mario Armstrong talked about is that our community doesn't actually go after as much sponsorship and receive as much sponsorship that's available out there because one, we don't know how, or we don't even think about asking it, right? And I can think about even just myself and a couple of women that I know that put on events and have these initiatives and they pay out of pocket. We're not even getting like loans and like grants are not guaranteed. You can apply to grants and everything. But they're first you got to put yourself in the position and you have to think a little differently when it comes to how you can fund your initiative. And it's just kind of a shame to see that there's money out there when you align with a brand that has the same alignment with you. So as you said, you don't want to just take money from anyone. Um, but like our community just needs to know that they can actually get some of this money too. We don't have to pay out of pocket, right? And I don't know if it's like, tied to things where we don't want to ask for money because we didn't go down the um psychology, I want to say the psyche part of it. But it's something that probably should be looked at or something that somebody can speak on. But just the fact that our community doesn't even go out there and take advantage of as much sponsorship that's available to us. So we should know to put ourselves in the right position so that we can get that sponsorship.
Something that you said that I absolutely love is that we have to think a little differently. When
Mhm.
you want to approach partnerships, collaborations, sponsorships, brand partnerships, you really need to think creatively, not just differently, but even so creatively. How can we creatively um, find this value alignment to be able to make sure we match with the same type of audiences to build a reputation of working together to have a long term effect of value that we have going on in order with the resources that we're able to pull together. And resources doesn't always have to be finances, you know,
Right.
it can be skills, talents, and expertise. It could be an array of different things when we think about resource availability, but that all goes into how you even think creatively or innovatively and who you
Mhm.
want to pitch or align with in regards to even having some type of sponsorship
Absolutely.
opportunity with. I like that you said that.
And it's funny because I think that what Mario did really great in both summits is he really kind of put an idea of how to think differently, right? So, for example, we started by talking about our question talked about like how do we prioritize rest, and one thing I constantly talk about is my Calm app. Well, right there, Calm is a perfect sponsorship opportunity for me because I do use the service. I use it almost daily, like very, very frequently. I can speak to the benefits of it and how it makes me feel. And it aligns with who I am. It aligns with things that I do when I talk about how I rest. I suffer, you've heard me say I suffer from migraines. And so sometimes I just need to put on a sound in the background to like almost like rest my brain waves when I'm doing things. So it's like brown noise. You hear like white noise and all the stuff, but I got to put on those things. So I can speak to that if we do anything wellness related, the fact that I will probably say, well, you're a businesswoman and you're working your tail off. And you know what? You need to take naps. And I use the comment right there, right there. I'm perfect. That's a perfect alignment for sponsorship. So it's kind of like looking at what do you do or how do you use these particular brands within like your daily lifestyle? And then how do you tie it to maybe your initiative, right?
I agree. I like that. And what I thought about when you were saying that, because you do use Calm, you even tell us about Calm sometimes in the different ones you had. And I think you even had me, you sent me a link and got
I'm
Calm,
always sending
but
links,
I
but I
know
don't have
Calm
an
wasn't it
affiliate
free.
link.
And there you go. And that's why you said it should absolutely be something that you put out there to get an
Mhm,
affiliate for or from. Um, I think for me, um, that's the beauty of value placement or product placement is what they call it. If you get value from it and you place that product within your content or your initiative in some way, shape, form, or fashion and say, this is how I'm using this in my life, how it's been valuable to me. You don't have to do that every single day. So Shireen talks about Calm and how she uses Calm. For me, in regards to, are you okay? Am I still here?
no, you're here.
Did you? Oh, okay. And then for me, I was thinking about Go Raw. So on my journey, Go Raw has been my go-to for like my sweet alternative, like the chocolate
Mhm,
coconut clusters or the sweet and salty clusters. Like that could be
mhm,
my quote unquote candy. And it's still a raw product that has,
mhm.
organic pumpkin seeds, coconut, like sprouted things, not cooked, still within that guideline. And I love me some Go Raw. I brought it home last time in May. My grandmother loved it. I was trying to make that alternative for them to see it as another space. So Go Raw could be a person that I
Sponsor.
reach out to because
Yeah.
it's something that I use. People in my niche, those with my target audience, I mean, endometriosis, PCOS, they could utilize this type of
Mhm,
ingredients, this approach as a way to help with those sugar cravings, to get in more nutrients. Because Go Raw has so much magnesium, like the nutritional value on the back is just out of the roof. Like I haven't seen any product that looked that good. Another one when I thought about when you was talking about it was like my coconut water, the brands that I found that have tasted really good. Those are people that I would, look into as someone that can do it because I'm showing that coconut water in my short blogs if I'm drinking it or having it. That's product placement. You can't pitch, you can, but what we were learning, I learned from Mario because we were talking about what we learned from Mario takeaway. What I learned from Mario is product placement. If you already have content where you're shouting these people out, saying how you found this to be valuable and how you use it in your life, when you go to pitch them, you're able to say, hey, this is the content that I've used to talk to my audience that is this amount of people or this special group of people that they
mhm.
might not already be in front of. You see this my audience, your audience, more increased visibility. This is how it's beneficial to them. This is how many episodes I might have on my podcast where I could be promoting you on my podcast. It's
Mhm.
opportunity, but you have to kind of show them already how it's beneficial for them to
For
be able
them.
to work with you. And so,
Mhm,
like Sharina said, Calm, but she doesn't tell you about Calm every single day because Calm isn't
mhm.
already working with her to consistently promote. But she
Yeah.
is able to say, hey, I've talked to you on several different episodes on my live series with two different podcasters in two different countries. Like how she positions herself, her unique selling proposition is going to look
Mhm.
totally different than someone else who just wants to use Calm for a totally different reason. You have to make it special and
Yeah.
valuable when you pitch to them in regards to that. But go ahead, Shireen.
Yeah, no, and I was gonna say, I think Dave had said, to respect the small, right? And so, and I've said that to I was pitching, I put a pitch out there today. I met with, an organization that's having an event, and, I had to remind them the same thing, to respect the small, but realistically, we use the just checking in card every single Thursday on this live to start our lives. And then we use the psychotherapist after thoughts cards. So these are smaller brands, but local brands to me. And, there's an opportunity here to say, hey, would you like a sponsorship? Because now we're putting reach out there. If we wanted to extend it to, hey, did you want to do check-ins within yourself or with your family or your friends, or or just again, just with yourself, then you can get this through our affiliate link, and we can drop it in and it's in our show notes, right? So there's so many opportunities. But even when I say this, um one thing Mario said was, just kind of piggybacking off of what Dave said about respecting the small, is you could look at local businesses as well, right? And those local businesses, um, the smaller businesses, if you buy tea from a particular place, or if the smaller, I don't know, grocery store does something, I can't even think about what it is. I know I always think about my Asics, right? Because like that's what I'm.
And you've said that before too. Yes.
Because that's when I'm like working, right? Like, oh, if you got the Asics on, they are my exercise shoes, but they give me the best support. The best support. I'm wearing Vans today. Now, I could. I, my Vans are my army Vans. I love army clothing, but my Asics give me the right arch support, so you could be the entrepreneur on the go. So it doesn't even have to be the big brands. We're mentioning big brands, but it could be the close mom and pop shop that you buy your local tea, or that you whatever you utilize. So respecting the small is, respecting the small is crucial, because we look at these bigger brands, because everybody wants to get like all the money from the brands. We're content creators. But if you're looking at the smaller brands that are local, you are also helping build their business, and they're sponsoring you, even if it's like the $500, $1,000, right? And that's you
Girl, even
respecting.
the $200. And it's something, just to even
Mhm.
shout them out, and it's something they're able to provide value into you too. But I absolutely love the respect the small. I'm not quite sure exactly who told us that. I felt like it was another speaker, but it was still valuable across the board
Mhm.
anyway. But I love the fact that I felt like that was the secret hat, Shireen. Everybody might be going for these big mainstream brands and corporations and organizations, but you are mighty with people that align more with you, that might have a smaller reach, but together you're able to build and have that long term plan to have a
Mhm.
relationship that really vibrates, that is local to you. Like you said it, girl, when you said the local businesses, like
Mhm.
find the people that align with your mission and vision, that you can go out, reach, and touch, so that way y'all can come together in person to really collaborate. You put on an event, they could actually show up, not just have their logo on the marketing. And they can speak on what they provide and how they serve their community. And then you could do the same when they have an event. Like it allows so much more in a partnership,
The reach,
when you're
baby.
able,
The reach
exactly,
just
because you're not going to have Nike coming to you the way you could have somebody else that has their own brand. And I feel like we're creating that shift. So now we're wearing our brand, and we're wearing brands that we really find a connection with in
Mhm.
regards to who we are as people and who we want to really pour our money into. We're getting more intentional on how we're spending our money. We're just not
Absolutely.
going with big name brands just to be going with big name brands anymore. I don't know if you see it, but I see a
Oh,
bigger shift towards people going towards repping themselves and repping the people that they love even more.
girl, I definitely see it. There's studies about it. I've added it in other pitches and other decks where it talks about even just our community really looking at intrinsic value, and that's where we're putting our dollars, right? So there's definitely studies out there that is watching the behavior, the shopping behavior, the spending behavior of the Black community, right? I was gonna pivot to say, um, I was gonna pivot
Well,
to
I was going
say,
to build off of your pitch because I definitely want to say something about pitching to these brands, but I'm with you on that intrinsic value. And while we on it, y'all, there's a link in the description of my video. You can go and support this brand on my Shopify store. Thank you to Shireen for helping me create it. But y'all, there's products that you can get on
Mhm.
Shopify on 4vibrations.com. Tap into my website and you can support my brand while we're talking about supporting.
And same thing, you can head on over to blackprint.com if you're on my channel, or if you're flipping between both of our channels, then you can also support on that side. There's actually clothing on even the Perspective Studio Productions if you just want to wear a shirt that says, "What's your perspective?" or drop your perspective. It looks like
Mhm.
Shoot wrote 3 month supply of specific water or healthy snack. Absolutely. There's opportunities to
Run it.
respect the small in that sense. Turn
I like
to
that. Oh shoot.
I was gonna turn to the how, right? One
Mm.
thing that Mario talks about is like when you want to get in front of these brands, you need to be very concise with the conversation you're going to have. So one approach that he shared with us is like book an 11-minute meeting. Sounds weird, right? Or was it 14? I'm pretty sure it was 11 minutes. But the whole objective is it's a snippet. And one thing that Dr. Vibe in Toronto shared with me, and he actually went through Mario's cohort, the very first cohort. And he has had a sponsorship with Dove Men's products for one of his brands ever since he went through that. So I think it's been multiple years. One thing he mentioned is find out how you can help them. Normally, we get on these calls and it's we're thinking about us, the money we need, the money we're going to get, the money, what we need. But really, you got to take a different approach and you got to really think about, well, how can I help you? So, one, you're going to do your research, but so you can kind of understand the brand better. And maybe you might be able to identify a few things, but in that 11-minute call, you want to get, well, it's almost like it's a part of your research. You want to get a better understanding of what they need so that when you take it back and you actually put together a pitch, you have something concrete and concise on what's going to help them. It's an equal exchange. As even Giovanni mentioned in this call, it's an equal exchange. So it's not just about you and your event or you getting sponsored by these brands and the money, the money, the money. When they're coming to you, they're coming to you either because you have a platform, even if you have a small platform, right? They respect the micro influencers as well. Did you want to say
And it's not
something?
just, yeah, and it's not even just the small, it's the actual audience that you have. If I'm serving
Mhm,
endometriosis and polycystic ovarian syndrome, they
mhm,
don't already have an initiative or a partnership with somebody that also is having serving the endometriosis and polycystic ovarian syndrome community. My cousin who asked us about even talking about this, she said for Double Dutch. And so how many partnerships do you already have with a Double Dutch lead? you
but
you
but
might
they
be the only
can.
unique person that go ahead.
No, but they can. They can already have that, but maybe they need to niche down even more and expand to the
It
Black
could.
community and expand to the Black community within that, or expand to whatever your community is, right? Whatever your
Hmm.
POC community is, or maybe it's within your target demographic of like your age, or you know what I mean? What a different
Age is a
diagnosis,
good one too.
right?
Hmm.
Right? Or both,
Agreed. And I
or
was just
both.
saying, even with the small, you might be the first, or you just have to make it uniquely you so they can say,
Mhm.
you still don't have my people. You might have these people, that people, but this group is what you absolutely need. And I
Yeah.
like that you brought up the 11-minute meeting that you
Mhm.
schedule with these people, and you're able to also, send that content that you already are showing them is beneficial. What you do, you tag them in it. Like, product
Absolutely.
placement, what Mario was saying as well. I tag the coconut water when I'm drinking it and as a part of my video. So you can't say you didn't already see me. I'm already in your algorithm because I'm already shouting you out. So when you do see me come and schedule this 11-minute meeting or however minute the meeting is, it's not the first time they ever heard of you thinking that this would be a good partnership. And so that's important. But the thing I wanted to talk about in regards to the pitch, Shireen, was what Daniel Priestley said was his capstone formula. So I'm gonna just run through that, and then we can go ahead and wrap this up. So for a great pitch, when you're going out here to pitch for your sponsorships and this collaboration, he used the formula capstone. And so C stood for clarity. You want to absolutely be clear what your initiative is and what you aim to achieve. What Shireen was just saying. Say how you're planning to bring them value and what it is that they need from you. You have to be clear. Don't
Mhm.
try to go in with all of this extra jargon and trying to sound overly professional. Just be clear on what it is that your initiative is and what you aim to achieve through this partnership, and think about them as well. Then authority. You want to make sure you have authority about the expertise, the experience, or the past success that you have brought into your space already. So that's adding to it. You're an authority within your space. Then the P was your problem. Define the problem or the need. All right. The problem or the need that you serve. Then your solution. Present a solution to the problem you just brought up to them. So you're not asking them to be the solution. And then the why. T stands for the why. Explain why this initiative even matters. They need to understand the big picture of why you do what you do. The O was opportunity. Highlight the opportunity for that sponsor to even be involved. Remember, we just said respect the small, your unique proposition of what's actually happening. And then you're in the next steps. If you choose to work together, this is what this could look like. And you clearly outline what this looks like in regards to y'all working together. So you're not leaving it up to them to figure out, do we work together or do we not work together? Let us figure out how this is going to look. You're providing them with the idea within that same pitch or that 11-minute meeting that you have, because you're coming prepared to go all in on the value because you know how much you're worth. And then the E is emotion. You have to connect with them on emotional level. If it's all about business and they can't feel what you're saying and it's all just facts, it's not gonna go anywhere. People like to move and make decisions off of feelings, how you made them
Mhm.
feel about being a part of something so special. And so it was the capstone formula that Daniel Priestley talked about in regards to having a great pitch. So I hope that helps you all in regards to what our thoughts are in regards why sponsorships, how to kind of navigate who to consider for your sponsorships, the product placement, and then how to actually go in there and pitch yourself in regards to when you get that opportunity to set that meeting. Go ahead, Shereen.
I was gonna say you might not get all of that in 11 minutes, but I think that when you understand what they want, um, then your second meeting can have that. Like, you might get bits and pieces of that in there because you also want to be actively listening to them and not really have all these assumptions, right? But then when you get back with them again, you have more information, and then capstone becomes even more powerful on what you can do. So I think I was going to add a couple of other things, but the only other couple of things I would just add is like, you know, make a list, get out your Excel document and make a list of the different brands that you would like to pitch to or align yourself to. And remember, you can pitch an idea, right? Um, most people will have an idea, but not everybody will move on that idea. So make a list of who um, you want to pitch to. Make a in that spreadsheet, add like the benefits to them that you assume at the moment until you get a better understanding of the company. We did hear in a different context of a conversation about the power of doing like your research and understanding. It was more about your like understanding your guests, but you can still use that same methodology for the brands. And so you can dive into what do they stand for? What are their core values? Because then your assumption is probably pretty close to what they need. Who have they sponsored in the past, right? And that way you can see, like, okay, they've sponsored these type of companies. They'll probably sponsor the kind of company that I have. And Giovanni, actually, for you and I think that we're at the point where we should probably put together a pitch for the brands that we want, even though we do not have, even if there's not a specific event attached to it, because you're always calling out the raw chips and the coconut water. I'm always calling out the Calm app. We are out here in these streets as it is and very public. And we go to events and we can be giving out, whether it's an affiliate link and getting like monetized as well. And so it's a strategy that we don't need to wait till it's tied to a specific event where we can already have that affiliate link now because we're using the products. And that will just and the great thing about once you have one sponsorship, then other people want to come and sponsor you too. Yeah.
Agreed.
Hmm.
I'm with you on that. I actually had a pre-recording with someone and she has the 1 day journal and it was absolutely amazing. I was like, I would love for my coaching clients to have this 1 day journal.
Hmm.
Do you have an opportunity to have an affiliate link so I can be able to push that to them because the journal
Hmm.
is for a certain time frame and that same time frame is how long they would go through the My Healing, My Journey experience, empowerment coaching experience. And she was like, I like that idea. I could definitely look into an affiliate link with that. So
Hmm.
making sure it aligns with who you are and what you have. You don't have to create every single thing for your business, every product, every service. It's there's power in partnerships and things that has already been created that you can just have be a part of your experience. And that just was an example of being able to see the value in what I have and what you already have and how it could work together and support each other and each other's impact
Yeah.
in what you do. So I absolutely love that. And I like this. I think
She's going to start tagging everyone when Dutch starts back up. Thanks for the idea. But Giovanni, I actually think that you and
I
I
like
need
that,
to,
Tamisha. I'm glad you
yeah,
got some ideas from our conversation.
absolutely. I think that we need to actually add a question in the podcast questionnaire for our guests. And the question is, do you have an affiliate link for the product that you're offering? And right there,
All
it's
right, that.
proactive. And if they do, they can fill it out and let us know. And then we can see, and then just, put a caveat that we hold the right to determine if the product aligns with our audience. Um, but that way it's already out there. And if they do, please share it. And it's already in there so that, when you get that form, you can be like, let me go check this out. And you go check it out and you're like, yo, most definitely. Let me get my 3%. Right?
Right. Sounds good, man. I hope y'all enjoyed this conversation. We took it back to a
Hmm.
longer version today and let the vibes just kind of flow. But one thing for sure, Shireen and I really appreciate y'all showing up each and every Thursday. And even if you don't catch us live, you're still watching the stream when you're able to get into it. And shout out to our community member, to Misha, for even having the question when we were talking about and gearing up for the podcast to let us know what she wanted us to bring back to our community, to our live. And so that is why we have this conversation today. And I think it was a beautiful conversation for me and Shireen to even get something out of showing up and talking about it. And love that we already see that people are getting ideas and how to implement this. So I hope y'all found value. Again, if this was your first live experience and you saw why sponsorships and you loved it, what I asked you earlier was now to share it. We asked you to like, we asked you to subscribe to our channels. Now share this with someone that you love, you like, you care for, or even someone that you trust their opinion. And you say, you know what? I'm moving into getting into sponsorships. I'm not quite sure who I'm going to consider to start doing my research with, to reach out to. Listen to this and tell me what you think about how I should approach this or that. Or somebody you might be in business partnerships with or collaborating with in an organization and see what they think, what their creative ideas, and then have a discussion with them. But I absolutely love this for us. I see the evolution. I see the growth for all of us. So thank y'all for tuning in. Shireen is about to check us on out of here. Y'all don't forget to check the links in the description of both of our videos to see how you can support and what value you can get from the products and services that we offer. Again, products to support with painful periods, merch, all is on 4vibrations.com. If you're looking for a healthy habits and lifestyle coach and you're starting to really get into making some changes so you can have a more vibrant life, click the link in the description of this video. And then for right now only, very limited time, you get a free access to the M to the third degree healing empowerment guide. Y'all, that guide is jam packed with about 8 different videos, and it takes you through each phase of your cycle. There's 4 different phases, and it's helping you with mindset activities that you can do, mindful eating, different recipes and foods that are beneficial through that cycle phase. And it's also giving you movement exercises that you can do during the phase that you're in with your cycle, as well as some herbal teas that you can drink in that phase of the cycle. So it's pretty much a whole month worth of plan or ideas that can help you show up when your body is in the transition and doing all the things that it does within the phases of your cycle. Episode 46 or 45 just dropped on Empire Plates, Empire Lives podcast. We talking holistic remedies with the holistic trap mommy. Y'all, it's a long episode, but it's absolutely jam-packed with a whole bunch of gems. Check out the latest episode of the Empire Plates, Empowered Lives podcast. If you like listening to it on a podcast distribution platform, give it a rating and a follow. I need the rankings, but most importantly, I need you to get the value in it, baby, because it's all about you being empowered on your healing journey. What we got, Shireen?
Well, before we jump into the closing statement, I will just say the one thing I wanted to jump in there and say is don't overthink it. Just kind of look at what you use on a daily basis, and start there. If sponsorship is something that you need, so I'll just keep that short and sweet. And unfortunately, it's been a bit busy for me, so we haven't dropped an episode. We'll probably wait till next week at this point. But go back and check out the previous episodes that we have. There's just some great conversations there. Just depending on where you are, we're trying to have more conversations that pertain to. Yes, we have our conversations that pertain to products. We do interview businesses, but the next couple ones that are coming out are business owners that are going through things, right, or who have went through things, and it's things that you might relate to. It could be things. The one of them is actually someone who was in love and then they got cheated on as they were starting their business. And they're a parent and they got how many kids, right? And so it's like, are they open for love again? And how do you stay focused in your business when those things are going on, when life hits, right? And for the other person that's coming out is really someone that's been working really hard and she's a great chef. And she did not realize that she had a huge fibroid, right? And it was as big as like a volleyball. So, the next upcoming, and it wasn't until she actually went to the surgery, that's how she found out. The next couple of conversations that are coming out on Voices and Vibes really hit to life experiences, right? So take a look at the conversations that we've been having previously and stay tuned for the ones that are up and coming. Okay, to wrap us up, our word is grow.
Studio.
Sorry?
I didn't hear the studio.
Okay. I mean, if you're local, so a couple of
There you
things.
go.
Thank you, Giovanni. If you are
You're welcome.
local or if you're going to be visiting, and maybe you're looking for some help with your content, you are a small business, and you are looking for some help with capturing your content or even capturing your behind the scenes. We actually offer that service where we can come into your events and we can interview your audience and we will work with you and curate the type of questions so you can actually have content, evergreen content that can be utilized for your brand after your event, long after your event, right? Or maybe you're a small business and if you're a restaurant and you just need content on how things look really good. You can be any business. We have a couple of clients coming up that will be shooting that are on completely different spectrums. So if it's something that you're looking for, you can reach out to us either in our DMs on Instagram, that is Perspective Studio Productions, or you can go to the website. The services are not listed there as yet, but if you're listening to this, it will be on the site soon. But you can just mention that you heard it on this show, and maybe I'll give you like a 10% discount or something as well. But yeah, we can help you with your video content needs. So you can be visible in social media and you can feel confident about your brand. Or if maybe you just want to get on the mic, you want to get on the mic and you want to do the damn thing. We have upgraded after the podcast studio. I have a new light. So we've updated our lights. We updated new, we have more cameras. We have been doing some upgrades, some new equipment. And so if you are looking to
Sound
have,
like the studio is growing.
yeah, if you're looking for an optimal experience for your podcast studio or your conversation or your live, right before this live, we had a live with one of our clients. Or maybe you're just looking to turn your blog into a podcast and you don't know how to start. You can reach out to us at Perspective Studio Productions. We can help you out and you'll start seeing some of that type of content coming out. And what I will actually show is all the mistakes that I've made because it is a learning process as we grow. And so that's a great segue into the word for today for our close up. And it actually just says, never discount your growth, no matter how small. Respect the small, baby. Never discount your growth, no matter how small. I think it's great.
I love it.
Yeah, me
I
too.
love it. Shreen,
Mm-hmm.
let's keep going and growing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Let's keep going and growing.
Thank you, everyone, for coming out for another Herbal Tea Thursday. Giovanni.
Yeah. It's your Healthy Habits and Lifestyle Coach Giovanni. Thanks for vibing with us, y'all.
Bye, everyone.